Yesterday, a school trip was organized by Ms. Taylor, the most cheerful teacher at Maplewood Elementary. The trip was planned weeks in advance, and everyone was told to bring their lunches and wear comfortable shoes. The destination was decided as the City Museum, a place filled with history, art, and science. Early in the morning, a yellow school bus was prepared outside the school gates. The students were picked up one by one as they arrived, chattering excitedly about what they would see. Bags were checked to make sure no one forgot their lunch or water. Once all students were seated, the roll call was taken and the bus engine was started. When the students reached the museum, tickets were handed out by Ms. Taylor. At the entrance, the group was greeted warmly by a friendly guide named Mr. Roberts. The museum's rules were explained, such as no touching the exhibits and staying with the group. After a brief introduction, the tour was started, and the first stop was made at the prehistoric exhibit. In the dinosaur hall, skeletons of massive creatures were displayed, and detailed descriptions were written on nearby boards. Gasps of wonder were heard as the students saw the towering bones of a T-Rex. Photos were allowed, so cameras and phones were pulled out, and pictures were taken enthusiastically. Gasps of wonder were heard as the students saw the towering bones of a T-Rex. Photos were allowed, so cameras and phones were pulled out, and pictures were taken enthusiastically. Next, the group was led to the art gallery. The walls were covered with colorful paintings, and sculptures were positioned carefully on pedestals. The students were amazed by the intricate details of the artworks. Questions like, how were these made? And who was inspired to paint this? Were asked. The guide's answers were listened to attentively, and new facts were learned. Around noon, the group was gathered in the museum courtyard for lunch. Sandwiches, fruits, and juice boxes were brought out, and everything was shared among friends. Leftovers were packed neatly to keep the courtyard clean. After eating, a small quiz was held by Ms. Taylor. Prizes were awarded to the students who answered the most questions correctly, and cheerful applause was given to everyone who participated. The afternoon was equally thrilling. The group was taken to the science wing, where live experiments were demonstrated. A colorful chemical reaction was shown, and the students were fascinated as liquids changed colors before their eyes. A mini rocket model was launched, and loud cheers were heard as it soared into the air. Hands-on activities were arranged, and small experiments were tried by the students. Before leaving, the souvenir shop was visited. Keychains, postcards, and small toys were bought eagerly by the children, using the pocket money they were given. As the day came to an end, the tired but happy group was escorted back to the bus. The journey home was filled with laughter and stories about the day. When the bus was parked outside the school, parents were already waiting to pick up their children. The students were dropped off safely, and thank yous were exchanged with Ms. Taylor and Mr. Roberts. That night, many stories about dinosaurs, art, and experiments were shared at dinner tables. The trip was remembered as a wonderful experience, and everyone was eager for the next adventure.